Hey everybody, it's CJ. How you doing? Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. Got back to work due to this COVID craziness and just been working really hard and haven't figured out yet how to shoot a lot of videos and post stuff up, but I will be posting stuff again. So one of the things I want to talk about today is just general sodium knowledge for everybody as we go before we start getting into specifics of what to look for and whatnot. Just some information that I got by searching the internet and things I was told as we go through. Just kind of make you go, oh really? Because I know I did. Again, just some background information. I had a stroke in February of 2019. Had a stroke again in May. First time it was suggested that I go on a low sodium diet because they had no idea why I had the stroke. They were still figuring it out and had figured it out on my second one, but they still put me on a low sodium diet anyway. I didn't go on a no sodium diet or zero sodium. Your body does need some sodium to go, but by lowering your sodium, you're going to lower your blood pressure. It's a really hard thing to say. You're going to lower your blood pressure. You're going to lower your chance of a heart attack. You're going to bring your heart rate down, and you only get so many heartbeats for your whole lifetime, and you want to go as low as possible to not go over that. So some of the things I learned that I was dumbfounded by. If you're not on a low sodium diet, if you're just on, hey, go eat what you want, you're healthy, here we go, you should have about 2,400 milligrams of sodium per day. And I'll probably say grams sometime and just deal with it. I mess stuff up and I don't care. But when you're looking at it, it's in milligrams of sodium. So it's a small amount. 2,400 milligrams per day is about what everybody's looking for. The average American diet, between people stopping at fast food and finding it in places throughout your home you would never expect sodium to be, is over 4,000 milligrams of sodium per day. So you're supposed to have 2,400. You have almost twice that in 4,000 milligrams by not paying attention. And that's from, hey, I'm going to eat this through a window and we're going to have a frozen dinner at home and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not eating fresh fruits and vegetables and here it goes. So it's easy to go, when I started looking at stuff, you find out that vegetables are loaded with sodium. Well, they're not loaded, but you have to go, hey, that has sodium, so I can eat some vegetables, but I can't go crazy on it. So the old adage that many of you are probably saying to yourself right now, and well, what I'm going to do is just eat a little bit of everything, and moderation is the key, and I'm going to moderate everything without paying attention. It's generally a good philosophy. When you have to start watching your intake, it becomes troublesome. So what you have to do is, know where the sodium, the vegetable's high in sodium, so you make sure that you have what that says you should have. 2 stalks of celery versus 10 as a snack, and keep count of it as you go through. I was dumbfounded to find out how much, that I was doubling my intake normally, and I was probably quadrupling it myself, but that the average American, keep in mind, if the average American is double the sodium intake, that means there are some people on the high end and really super healthy people on the low end. I'm on a low sodium diet, so I'm on the lower end. Somebody else is making up for me. If I'm keeping it for a while, I was around 1,000 milligrams a day. So if the average is around 4,000, that means somebody had to be 7,000 for me to be the average of 4,000. So don't think, oh, he's not talking about me. He's talking to somebody else. He's only talking to somebody that has to go on a low sodium diet. When I went to my doctor for a follow-up after my second stroke, and I don't remember if it was still a follow-up for my first stroke or a follow-up for my second stroke, and I've talked about this before, but I looked that morning and, it said some medications have sodium in them, and I got mad. And I asked him, because I was on blood pressure medication, did they give me something that had sodium in it? Because I was going to get mad and I don't know, hit somebody. I don't know. I didn't figure out what I was going to do, but I was definitely going to be mad about it. And his first question was, why are you on a low sodium diet? And then he said, well, that's not bad. Due to my age, I'm looking at it too. It's not a bad thing. And like I said, I talked to somebody older than me who has paid more attention because of what happened to me and lost a ton of weight. I talked to somebody younger than me who's younger than me who's paying a lot of attention, and was crazy about it for a little while. But my doctor, first of all, the medication is usually over-the-counter medication, so you want to look at that stuff as you go through. But ask your doctor if they're going to put you on something if you're on a low sodium diet. If the pill has sodium in, they shouldn't recommend that. But if you're like me and you're going to see this doctor and that doctor and that doctor and that doctor, they're worried about what they're worried about. They don't always pay attention to what the other people prescribe. So you want to make sure that there's no interactions or anything going wrong with that. It's not a bad thing to overall take a look at your sodium intake. The big things that the manufacturers are trying to do, because what people are looking for is, if it's healthy, it's probably low in fat and low in sugar, because fat, sugar, and sodium make up flavor. If you take all three out, you're probably not going to taste that good and need lots of spices. They take out whatever you're looking for. So I'm looking for low fat, and it ends up loaded full of sodium or loaded full of sugar as a flavor. If they take out the sugar because you're diabetic and you want to look at that, it's going to be loaded with fat or it's going to be loaded with sodium. And most people either want to lose weight or they're diabetic in America. So those two things they're both taken out. Well, guess what? Then they're loading it full of sodium. So you've got to take a look. You've got to know what you're putting in your body. You've got to figure it out. Again, remember, the average is twice what you should take in. And there's plenty of people on low and no sodium. So that means people are taking in loads of stuff as they go. I realized at a picnic recently that I've turned in my grandmother, if that makes sense to anybody. When I was a kid, we're at a family picnic and I was eating eggs. Somebody brought deviled eggs and I had about, 40 of them. And cholesterol had just become a thing. And she went, oh my God, honey, you got to watch what you're doing. Don't you worry about your cholesterol. I was 12. I didn't worry about my cholesterol. At a family picnic recently, there were some kids running around. I was like, man, they are eating hot dogs and, oh, it's high in sodium. And I was like, not as affected when you're younger as when you're 20 like I am. So you want to make sure, worry about what you have. You want to look at what kids are intaking, but they're running around so much that things do change as you get older. And that's probably where part of that average is also. But, take a look at what you're ingesting. If you don't care, don't worry about it. But be prepared to wake up in a hospital bed and wonder what happened. Hopefully not, but hopefully it's not the alternative. As it goes one day, I took the risk and I woke up and I had a long, hard year. So, reality is, I've got to watch the things that cause the problems I've had and try and avoid the other problems too. So, look at what you're eating, eat right, get some exercise, be healthy out there, and pay attention to what's going on. So, start taking a look at what's in your body, and we'll start talking about how we can do that. So have a great day. Hit the buttons. You want to like, you want to share. There's a button there. There's a button there. I don't know where the buttons are. I'm just pointing. But you want to make sure that you like and share, so that, tell somebody about this, so that they can get the link and get some information. We want to get it out there. There's a bell button of some sort, and I'm sure they'll add more buttons later. So just mash on the keyboard. Hopefully we can get the message out there and make a healthier people as we go. Have a great day. There's hope out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.